Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 11 of the Secondary League Podcast, a baseball podcast presented by the Pinch Runner. I'm baseball YouTuber and writer for the Pinch Runner, Dawson Wright, and today I'm joined by Noah Wright, who is also from the Pinch Runner. And Noah, we have a lot of stuff to talk about today.
I'm not happy about something that happened recently with the independent league team I watch.
Okay, go ahead and express your feelings.
So I know you've suffered because of the starting a runner on second rule with nobody out, right?
Yep, that is true.
I have suffered the same thing because of this rule, and I'm very, very unpleased about it, if you can't tell, because this game not only completed the sweep for the other team, but it knocked them out of first place.
Oh, dang.
It knocked them out of first place. If this is the reason they don't make the playoffs, or they don't go, I don't know if I forget if there's a wild card or not, something like that. But anyway, if they don't make the playoffs because of this game, I'm going to be very, very mad, because this would not have happened if Manfred did not implement these rules in the minor leagues too.
Okay, so we have talked about this rule before on podcast, but for those of you who haven't heard us talk about it, Noah, would you like to share why you don't like the rule?
Because it can affect a game like this.
Okay, well, okay. I'm gonna play a little bit of devil's advocate here. So it can affect the game, but you know the way that I think Manfred sees it, and a lot of people that like the rule see it, is okay. You could get the game over with faster. We already saw 9 innings of it, right? And you know, less players, you know, there's less of a possibility of players getting hurt, and it's the same for both teams. That's how I think they see it. So do you have a defense for that? To any of that?
I still just don't like it, because I know, like you said, you know, injury risk speeds up the game, but how many baseball fans have actually said that they wanted this, you know?
Okay, well, there's not like some mass poll among baseball fans.
I know, but I'd like to know how many fans would like to see this, because I feel like a good majority would say no thank you.
Yeah. I think that, you know, most fans, casual fans, I think would be like, oh yeah, then the game gets over faster, but some of us are just kind of like, you know, just leave it.
Yeah.
just leave the rule how it is. You know, I understand the reasons for the rule. You know, I might be a little stubborn for it, but I don't like it in general. You know, I just kind of think they should just keep it how it is. Like, oh, you didn't score that inning, or oh, it's a tie game going into the 10th. Okay, let's keep going. And it starts like every other inning. Like, you know, we don't want to see games that do go, you know, like, you know, 25 innings necessarily. I mean, it might be fun every once in a while,
it's
but
fun to me to
not
watch
constantly. But it's not like these games.
It doesn't happen every
constantly.
Other week. Yeah, it's not like this happens like, oh, that game went 25 innings and there was.
I don't even know if there was a game that went 20 innings last year. To be honest with you,
I don't think there's been one even this year yet either.
Yeah, probably not. There could have been one last year.
There was one that went maybe 17, 18 innings last year, but it doesn't happen to the point where it's like we need to make a change right now. Like I bet most extra innings games don't get past the 12th or 13th inning. You know? Yeah,
I think the Giants had one with the Reds that went 17 innings last year. But okay, does anyone remember in the playoffs, NLDS Game 2 in 2014? Does anyone remember that game?
Oh yeah,
because that game went 18 innings. Okay, it went 18 innings. It was tied 2-2 going into extras. Okay, the game finished 3-2 off a Brandon Belt solo homer into the upper deck of right field in the top of the 18th inning. Okay, the hero of that game, and a guy that could have saved the Giants World Series run. Okay, because if not, that series is going to Game 5, right?
Yeah.
So the guy that saved the Giants World Series run, okay, Yusmeiro Petit, okay, I like Yusmeiro Petit a lot. I miss him. I wish he came back to the Giants. Okay, he went. I think 6 shutout innings. Okay, it's like I don't know.
I remember watching that. It was
late.
like 5 or 6 innings that he just shut down the opponent.
Yeah, it's late at night, in DC because Eastern time, right? And he's out there just, getting guys out, like, and there were a few times where the Nationals came close. They had runners on first and second with 2 outs, couldn't capitalize. They had a runner on third, I believe, one time with 2 outs, and it was just they couldn't score. The Giants did score eventually off the belt solo homer after they had like no offense going whatsoever against the Nationals bullpen until they finally cracked it. But like that game is probably one of my favorite games that I've ever watched as a fan. I sat down and I watched all 18 innings of that game. And I feel like, we're going to, especially if this rule is implemented in playoffs and the regular season, I might be okay with it. In the regular season, maybe. I won't like it, but I'll accept it. In the postseason, I do not want it whatsoever.
I don't want it either way. Because if you, like you said, that an 18-inning game with them, and that's one of your favorite games. If you remember back in 2015, right before the wild card, or the All-Star break, with that one against the Pirates and the Cardinals, which, if you ask me, that's probably my favorite game I've ever watched. That I wasn't there for, but that's probably my favorite game I've ever watched as a fan,
It's just like, I feel like we miss out on like memories and like special goofy stuff that we like to talk about, if they got rid of it, especially in the playoffs, or if they added in the rule in the playoffs, right? So I'm just kind of like, let's just not, it's fine. We're good. Not that many games going. It's not like a majority of games going to extra innings anyway. We're going to be okay. I get okay, maybe the regular season it might be okay.
No.
But, okay, I'm trying to think about this from a player's perspective. Do the Padres and the Royals, do they really want to play like a 15-inning game
Probably
in the middle
of
July?
Probably not.
Like on a Sunday when they have to go leave and catch a flight? No. Okay? I don't even think Royals and Padres fans would really care about that game, honestly, at this point. But
if you're going to implement, you can't just be like, all right, this game, nobody cares about these teams, so we're just going to implement it for that one game. You can't just do that.
On the other hand, there are the games where it's like Red Sox, Yankees going into the 12th.
Yeah,
right?
It's like
winner takes the lead in the division, right? There's those games, which the extra inning rule could kind of
mess up everything.
Could kind of kill it a little bit. So yeah, I'm not sure exactly how I feel about it. I'd probably have to look into it more. I know in the postseason, I don't want it near the postseason whatsoever. Like in I think in the postseason, or a game where it's like a deciding game. I don't know, winner gets the division, loser gets wild card or something. At the end of the year, it should just not be in there at all. Just in case it does go to extras, it probably won't, based off probability. The game probably won't go into extras, but in case it does, I don't want, it to be like, Reds versus Pirates, winner gets the division, okay? The last out for the Reds is Billy Hamilton, okay? So he gets to start on second.
Then he starts at
and
second.
The last out for the Pirates is like Josh Bell, right?
Yeah.
No. It kind of gives an advantage to a team that, where their leadoff hitter was the last out, so...
And I know, because it happened with the game, the Indie League game, that the last guy out, when he got on second base, the first thing they did was bunt him over to third. So you basically just got a one-out triple.
And you'll see a lot of that, a lot of bunts, and a lot of just...
I don't like that.
Not fun stuff. But okay, I think this isn't the pace of play episode, so
not yet.
Not yet. So, but yeah, we'll talk about more in the pace of play episode. But it became official that the Dodgers have acquired Manny Machado.
Yeah, that saga came to an end a few days ago, or yesterday, really.
Yeah, like I think we all pretty much knew that yesterday it was going to happen for sure. It was just a matter of when the official announcement came. I already made an entire video on it because I know it was going to happen. There was a reported issue with a physical or something, and then, you know, it finally went through. Orioles got 5 prospects, but the most important they got was Yusnel Diaz. Okay, they did not get May, and they did not get Verdugo.
Yeah.
Is that how you say it?
Verdugo.
I butcher minor league names too much that I don't know. This is a problem that I need to fix. But okay, so they didn't give up their number 1 prospect, and they didn't give up May either. So how do you like the return for the Orioles?
I mean, I didn't look too much into the other players, but I know Diaz. I wasn't sure how good Diaz is doing. I'm looking at right now. Baseball Prospectus puts him as the 73rd best prospect in the MLB before 2018, and he's having a good season. So I mean, who knows how he'll do for the Orioles in the future? He's in Double-A right now. He's 21. He's batting 314, 240, or 428, and 477. So he's doing pretty good in Double-A.
All right, wasn't he the one that hit? I believe he was the one that hit 2 homers in the Futures game, which
I'm not sure.
You know, could be a little telling for the future. You know, obviously the Orioles were put in a rough spot because they thought they could contend at the beginning of the year, and I'm like, are you insane? Are you mental? What is your front office? Okay, well, we could contend at the beginning of the year. That's really kind of why they kept Machado, and a part of it was they didn't get the deal that they liked yet for a whole year of Machado, right?
Yeah.
So now they get less, probably, unless they said, like, this offseason, like, oh, we're going to trade Machado if we get the right offer. They probably could have gotten more. Not from the Dodgers, because at this point they didn't know that shortstop for the Dodgers.
Seager.
Yeah, Seager. They didn't know that Seager was going to be out for the year yet, so, you know, they probably could have gotten a little more from a team maybe like the Brewers. You know, the shortstop's been a hole for them for, you know, the past 2 years, ever since VR's been kind of on the decline. So, you know, I don't like this deal for either team, really.
Well, for the Orioles, I think it's
Okay, for the Orioles, it's kind of okay because the
it's
Orioles,
not the greatest, but I think
world knew he was gone at the trade deadline.
Yeah,
everyone knew there was no chance they were keeping him. Everyone knew that he was going to be traded. So it's, you know, it's kind of like, you know, we know you're trading him, so you're gonna take, you know, whatever offers you get. It was reported that they did receive the number 1. They received an offer for the number 1 and number 8 prospect from the Dodgers, and the Orioles said nah, which I'm kind of like.
I think they should have accepted that. They should. Yeah. There should have been no question about that.
Yeah, I'm kind of like, okay, but the only thing I could think that the Orioles front office was thinking, they don't like the number 1 prospect, they don't like the number 8 prospect, they like Diaz, and the Dodgers know this. Diaz has been a major, you know, piece in this trade ever since it was rumored that he was going to the Dodgers. So with the Orioles expressing that, hey, we want him, right? We want Diaz. We don't want Verdugo. We don't want, you know, your number 8 prospect. We want Diaz. Okay?
Yeah.
Then the Dodgers, on the other hand, know, like, okay, they want Diaz, so we could give them some other lesser players. And that's really what all of these deals are about. Okay?
Yeah.
You know, other players are nice, but the clubs know now more than ever, okay, what player they want, because, you know, they have a whole analytics department that run a bunch of stuff on him, you know, coaching staff, watching film. They know what player they want. They wanted Diaz, and then now they got Diaz.
Yeah, so, I mean, I guess they kind of got what they wanted, but, you know, still, I think they could have gotten a lot more.
Okay, they probably could have gotten more, but they couldn't have gotten Diaz.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah, that's kind of fair to see it that way.
Orioles, you know, you wanted Diaz. There you go. Congratulations.
But why don't you like it from the Dodgers' perspective, like you said?
From the Dodgers' perspective, I like it if they win the World Series. Okay, I don't want them to win the World Series, okay? But If they win the World Series, good trade. If they lose the World Series, bad trade. That's it. It's that simple. I know hindsight's 2020. We can't tell now if the Dodgers are going to win the World Series. We can't even tell right now if the Dodgers are going to make the playoffs, honestly. They've been so inconsistent, since the start of the year. We're not sure what they're going to do, right? But a lot of other teams in the division, like the Diamondbacks, when the Diamondbacks are good, they're really, really good. When the Rockies are good, they're really, really good. When the Giants got on a roll a few weeks ago, they looked really, really good, right?
Yeah.
So it's really about who gets hot. So you could see this happen, and the Dodgers don't even make the playoffs. I know everyone's thinking the Dodgers are a super team. They're not a super team.
No. They've been so inconsistent. Then there's been Kershaw's been hurt. All 3 of their other players have gotten injured. I know, who was it? Rich Hill. He hasn't been as consistent this year.
Mm-hmm. They got a little bit of case of the injury bug from the Angels.
Not as bad as the Angels, though.
Nobody's as bad as the Angels when it comes to injuries. But, Dodgers have had players that last year they hit, they hit over 320, all this stuff, and then now they're hitting 270. That's a pretty big drop off. I know that they have Matt Kemp. Okay, that's one player. You're only gonna see him four times hitting in a game. Matt Kemp can't hit for everybody. Matt Kemp and Matt Muncy can't hit for everybody. Okay.
Yeah.
And you're thinking about from a Dodgers perspective, okay, Manny Machado's a free agent at the end of the year. We do have money to re-sign him. Okay, they're going to have the money to re-sign him.
Yeah,
the Los Angeles Dodgers, and they can go over, the luxury tax without being penalized, right?
Yeah.
So, they're thinking, okay, maybe we could re-sign him at the end of the year if we don't win the World Series this year. If the Dodgers do not win the World Series this year, they will not win a World Series in the next 5 years.
Why? Because why? I want to know what your reason for it. Because they're losing Kershaw too.
They won't. Okay, I think Kershaw's gonna stay. I think Kershaw's gonna be a Dodger forever.
Yeah.
But Kershaw's on the decline, man. Those injuries hurt a player so much more than,
because it's you just
we will ever know. It does. It hurts. It hurts their ability. They don't know if they could pitch or field or hit the same way that they used to be able to without the risk of getting injured. They're treated more carefully. I think Kershaw's prime is gone. I don't. I mean, he's still going to be a very good pitcher. But not anywhere near.
If he can stay healthy,
I don't think he's going to be as close as Matt Scherzer is right now.
Yeah, if he
Matt
can stay
Scherzer's
healthy,
the best pitcher in the National League.
If he can consistently stay healthy, Kershaw can be one of the best pitchers in the game. But the last time he consistently pitched 200 innings, when he pitched back-to-back years with 200 or more innings, was 2012 and 2013. Since then, he's had one season since 2013 where he pitched more than 200 innings in 2015.
Mm-hmm. I noticed you said that Kershaw could be one of the best pitchers in the game.
If he stays healthy.
He was. Yeah. He was the best pitcher in the game, period.
Came.
And then the injuries came, he hasn't been as consistent as he used to be. Factors of that, injuries, getting older. And a lot of the Dodgers teams getting older. Chase Utley's retiring. What he means to that clubhouse is huge. Okay.
Yeah,
we're gonna talk about Chase Utley a little bit later, but I don't see the Dodgers if the Dodgers do not at least get to the World Series. No. If the Dodgers do not win the World Series this year, this is a bad trade for the Dodgers.
I think if they
I believe that 100%.
I mean, I think it would have been much worse if they did lose, if they don't win the World Series and they gave up Verdugo and their number 8 prospect, who I think was that Keibert Ruiz, who's a minor league catcher. But since they didn't really give up any huge names, I think it's not as big of a risk, and it won't completely kill them if they lose the World Series or don't make it to the World Series.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I seen Verdugo play. I don't like Verdugo. I don't think
why
he has it. I don't know. That's just what I think. I don't think that he has it. Not showing bias, but I saw him play multiple times. He took an over, threw his helmet in the dugout. Blah 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 blah. Right? He has that sort of, young Bryce Harper mentality, without the young Bryce Harper skill yet. From what I've seen from him, he rots the big chain on the field, stuff like that. But okay, even if the Dodgers could re-sign Machado, I seriously believe that their time is this year and then it's gone. Because look at everyone else in the National League right now. Phillies, Braves, Cubs are doing pretty okay. Diamondbacks, Rockies maybe.
Brewers.
Giants' time's kind of running out a little bit too. But I'm thinking their time's running out before, if the Phillies go get Manny Machado or something, I really think that they're going to win the National League next year. Yeah. If they go get Machado or Harper, Phillies are winning the National League next year. Aaron Nola's a beast. Boom, there you go. But this team just doesn't. They don't have it anymore, man. I'm trying to explain it to some Dodger fans earlier. They're like, "Oh, we still got Peterson and stuff," and I'm like, "Yeah, you do, but Peterson's coming back from Tommy John. That year off is a big year off. He could come back hitting 320, or he could come back hitting 210.
Yeah, it's a big. Well, I mean, he already was hitting 210, kinda.
Yeah. Okay. We'll see what happens with him, and if people are like, "Oh, we're gonna re-sign Machado," I saw a lot of Dodger fans comment, "Oh, we're gonna re-sign Manny Machado."
That's not a guarantee.
I'm like, all right. I'm like, okay. Well, yeah, I think Machado's going to the Yankees.
I still say
he wants to play on the East Coast.
I still say Phillies.
He liked the picture on Instagram. Yankees got the money, and I feel like Yankees are gonna offer him the contract. It all signs to me point he wants to be a Yankee. So. And I also know he hates the Boston Red Sox with a passion. Yeah. He said that in multiple interviews, with, some not very kind words. Okay?
Yeah,
but
I think the
whatever.
reason that he doesn't sign with the Yankees is because, they have Glover Torres at second. They have, I think really what the big thing is that they now have Anyhard, who's doing really good there too.
All right, well then what about the Dodgers? Okay, Dodgers have Pearson coming back, Justin Turner, Matt Muncy, Cody Bellinger.
Yeah, and then you have Seager, and then you have Turner at third, and then at shortstop you saw Chris Taylor and Logan Forsythe. So I mean, you could move Corey Seager to second base.
Okay, then where does Matt Muncy go?
Outfield.
First. Muncy goes to outfield.
Okay.
Then who sits in the outfield?
Who
are you gonna sit? Chris Taylor or Puig? You're not sitting Matt Kemp right now. Well, okay. Well, Matt Kemp could go next year and have a horrible year.
Yeah, I'm not really banking on Matt Kemp having another amazing season next year.
I feel like he's gonna do okay next year, but I don't see him hitting 320 and whatever. Yeah. Players will have like this. Like Nick Markakis is having a great year. I don't see him having the kind of year he's having right now next year at all.
Okay, and when you say,
I feel like he's gonna hit 270 like he normally does.
Yeah, like he's gonna be a 270, 20 home run guy. I don't think he's gonna be like 320, 25 home runs like that next year. But I have just one question. When you say that Peterson coming back from Tommy John surgery, do you mean Seager coming back from Tommy John surgery?
Oh yeah, Seager.
Because
I keep mixing up Seager and Peterson. Yeah, yeah. My bad. Yeah, when Seager comes back from Tommy John, because I know Manny Machado really wants to play shortstop. Wherever he goes, he really wants to play shortstop.
Yeah, but I feel like he'll play.
That's why I demanded the Orioles let me play shortstop now, or else I'm gonna hit 220, and then you're gonna get nothing for me. And then I'm going to go to my new team and hit like 400, right? But, yeah, Manny Machado wants to be a shortstop. He wants to play on the East Coast. Let's say he re-signs with the Dodgers. Okay, that puts the Dodgers in a really weird spot. People are saying, oh, you could move Machado to third. I'm like, Machado doesn't want to play third.
You can move
he doesn't want to play third. And in free agency, if he has the option, he will go somewhere where he can play shortstop, like the Philadelphia Phillies.
Or you move Seager to second base.
Yeah, then like, okay, we'll move Seager to second. I'm like, okay, what about Matt Muncy? Right?
Move him to outfield.
I'm like, all of a sudden, y'all talk about him a lot during the home run derby. I've had so many comments saying, oh, we can move Seager to second. Okay, Turner at third, Machado at short. Boom, it's that simple. And I'm like, okay, what about your guy that just that just went to the home run derby. What about Max Muncy?
Yeah, I see.
Did you forget? And then they're like, oh, he could play first, and then we could put Bellinger in center field. I'm like, Bellinger in center field?
Yeah, he plays actually a lot of center field sometimes.
I know, but I'm just like, so your outfield is gonna be Bellinger, and then so you're gonna have Bellinger, Kemp, and Puig, and then you're gonna sit Chris Taylor, and I'm like, yeah, and I'm like, okay.
Chris Taylor, it might be better if they put Chris Taylor in the super utility role that Enrique Hernandez is. I think a lot of people.
Then where's Hernandez go?
Minors. I think if you ask me, Taylor is an upgrade over Hernandez in the utility role.
Yeah, but nah, man, this team is this year or they're done. I don't think the Dodgers are done yet with making moves, okay? But I feel like they're gonna try and go like all in. I'm not sure who they're gonna add. I'm not sure who they're thinking of adding, but I feel like they're gonna put all their chips in this year because the front office knows their team ain't getting any younger, right?
Yeah,
they're in a situation where the Giants are kind of in, where their team's getting a little bit on the older side, okay? And the Dodgers aren't completely old. Cody Bellinger isn't that old.
No,
I
Bellinger's
believe
only 22.
Hernandez and Chris Taylor aren't that old either.
Bellinger's only 22. Taylor's 27. Enrique Hernandez 26. Puig 27.
But look at Bellinger this year compared to last year.
Yeah, big drop off.
Big drop off. Matt Kemp went up. I don't expect him to keep that up at all. Puig's been he's been okay, I guess. Right?
Yeah.
Justin Turner's been He hasn't been the same Justin Turner ever since he got injured.
Yeah, since he's gotten injured. When you miss so much time like that, you might as well just it's one of two things is going to happen after an injury where you're out for a long time. You're either going to do amazing or you're not going to perform at all. There's no in the middle, almost.
You're either going to go full Cal Schwarber 2016 World Series, or you're just going to, kind of fade off, right? and then like Kershaw, he's just, I don't know how he's going to do when he comes back. We've barely seen him this year. In the games we've seen him in, he hasn't necessarily been old Clayton Kershaw. Yeah. So it's going to be really interesting how this team does. They're starting like Rich Hill's like 40 years old.
Yeah.
And he's one of their best starting pitchers. So I'm like,
how long is that going to last?
I don't know how much longer you guys have with these pieces.
How long?
I feel like they're going to hold on. I feel like they're going to hold on longer than they should. Like I feel like the Giants kind of held on a little longer than they should, right?
Yeah.
Right now, I mean, right now they're actually doing pretty okay. But like 500 ball, would you rather have 500 ball and wait 5 more years before you can contend again, or would you just tank it? See ya. Tank it while your pieces still have value. Go get a #1 pick, draft a stud out of college.
So you think I don't see the Dodgers completely tanking.
Oh, they won't. They won't do it. They're the Los Angeles Dodgers. Unless they go through a bankruptcy crap situation like they did a few years ago, that they will probably never fully tank. Like I feel like they're gonna kind of do like a Yankees tank. You know what I mean?
A half-year tank where they just trade the guys off that are old and then come back next year. And
like they're still gonna be pretty. They're still gonna be pretty okay. As long as they draft well. As long as any team drafts well, you're set for the future. So a lot of it will go into the draft. Not necessarily. You have a better draft pick, you draft the better player, right? That's not necessarily how it works. We've seen that a lot in Major League Baseball, especially, right? Shout out to the Rays for blowing the #1 pick on Tim Beckham. But so it's I like this team this year. Like I don't want the Dodgers organization, but I like this team this year going into the playoffs. They're gonna look pretty good, but once they get to the World Series and they meet up with either the Astros, Red Sox, the Yankees, or the Indians, they're going they're gonna get smacked.
Yeah.
Anyone who comes out of the NL about to get smacked in 4 or 5 games.
American League's too powerful.
Okay, the World Series this year, like, actually should be like Yankees Red Sox.
I'd
like,
much rather see that.
Or like Red Sox Astros or Yankees Astros.
Yeah.
Right. But I mean AL, not AL and NL. That's how it's gonna be. You know, maybe we'll talk about that in a future podcast. You know, who knows? We ain't trying to turn into the NBA Western Conference, Eastern Conference. So, yeah. Enough about the Dodgers. Oh crap! I just remembered. The next thing we're talking about is Chase Utley.
Yeah.
This is kind of good news for me. Chase Utley is going to retire after this season.
Yeah, he's had a long career and good career.
A long, low-key, shady career. Because,
why shady?
Because he is probably one of the dirtiest players I've seen.
Other than the slide, what makes him the most shadiest players that you've seen?
There's other versions of the slide. I remember I saw one where it was like even worse than the slide he made on the Mets shortstop, right? I know Chase Utley is a good clubhouse guy. I've heard stuff about him in the clubhouse and stuff, right? But I also understand from a player's perspective, you do what you can to win. But there's some where he's just out there just injuring folks, like, you know, this is like some MMA fighting up in here, right? Yeah, it goes for like the lead sweep, like it's Karate Kid. I'm like, what the heck is this, right? Like, you know, back when the slide rule, you could take people out. Players wouldn't try and take people out hard on purpose unless they had some personal beef with them. Chase Utley would just do it, no questions asked. Right?
Doesn't matter who it was, he'd just go after him.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm pretty sure they're just going to. I'm pretty sure, you know, he's just gonna go in the Hall of Fame anyways.
Yeah, he's done pretty good over his career overall.
Okay, when he was with the Phillies, you know, especially when the Phillies are like really good,
yeah,
right?
like
when they were like the pinnacle of the National League.
2008,
he was a major key to that team. Okay, and I do believe he is a Hall of Famer. As much as I don't like it, or him, as much as I don't like him, he is a Hall of Famer to me.
Yeah, I think he makes it. I mean, I don't think he makes it like first ballot, but still, I think he makes it eventually.
And okay, before we get into trade rumors, I remembered that we did miss talking about Bryce Harper and the home run derby. Okay, and there's a lot of Cub fans going around right now. You know, Cub fans that think, I got a comment. I meant to tell you this. I don't think I did, but
yeah. Okay,
there was a Cub fan that commented on my biggest draft misses video.
Yeah.
He said, and I quote, okay, I'm glad we got Kyle Schwarber. He is way better than Mike Trout. I actually died inside when I read that comment.
That makes me very unhappy.
I was just like, are Cub fans like blind? Like, okay, some of y'all chill, but you know those like hardcore Cub fans that, you know, show up once every postseason, right? You know them, right? They think like Kyle Schwarber and Javier Baez are like the greatest hitters in baseball right now.
That's why I want to. I want to bring up something. Anytime Kyle Schwarber or Javier Baez makes an amazing play, you see it posted on MLB's Instagram, and then I watch the Pirates. Like Josh Harrison makes this like amazing turn. Like it was one game where like it bounced off the pitcher's glove, and he had to like turn on a dive, and then he was falling down, but still made a really accurate throw. I turned to my parents who were watching it, and I was like, that's not going to make MLB's Instagram. It's going to be Javier Baez making a sliding play that's going to make MLB's Instagram.
Okay, and that's because, you know, there's a bunch of Cubs fans everywhere.
I know,
MLB's Instagram isn't that biased.
I know, but I know it's like, oh yeah, marketing, but still, like, anytime a Cub does anything, it's like, he's the second coming.
of Babe Ruth.
He's the
right?
second coming of Babe Ruth. He's
Okay,
Babe
okay.
Ruth 2.0.
Yeah, give them a break, man. They're all excited. They won one world championship in over 100 years. Okay,
Sure.
they're all happy. Let them enjoy it, even though it was like 2 years ago, and they can shut up about it already, right? Cub fan. Okay, so some Cub fans are really nice. You know, they're chill.
Yeah,
They've been watching their team since they was a kid in like the 1970s or whatever.
The bandwagon
right?
fans is the ones
yeah,
that
y'all heard.
I don't
Yo,
like.
bandwagon fans, bandwagon Cub fans. Oh man,
Bandwagon Cubs fans are the
it's
worst.
bad. It's bad, man. I'd rather have Kyle Schwarber than Mike Trout. That's why your Cubs don't win a championship in over 100 years. Okay. Anyways, so Schwarber was going up against Harper in the final round. Schwarber hit, I believe, 18 homers in the final round. And then Harper hits 18 to tie, and then he hit one in the bonus round. But a lot of Cub fans, you know, mostly bandwagon Cub fans, a lot of the, you know, diehard Cub fans, they don't really care, right? But you see a lot of bandwagon Cub fans on Twitter, right? And it's not just bandwagon Cub fans. It's just, you know, I don't know, people that care about the home run derby enough to be like really upset about this.
Yeah.
Saying like, oh, Bryce Harper cheated.
I noticed it, but I didn't care enough. And I was like, well, like I saw like tons of other pitches where they pitched like right before it landed. So.
Okay, they're saying they're saying that oh, Bryce Harper, you know, his dad pitched in the ball a second before the other ball landed. You know, poor Kyle Schwarber. He'll never get over it. Right? I'm like, okay, listen, okay.
We're about to lay down some facts.
Bryce Harper. I don't care if his dad could have like waited for a little. Bryce Harper was going to win that home run derby. That's just a fact. Okay.
Yeah.
Bryce Harper won the home run derby. He would have won anyways. You could take the 3 seconds off. Okay, the 3 seconds or whatever it was. Wait for the ball to land.
And then he still had the 30, and then he still had 30 seconds in the end.
Okay.
He reached that too.
At most, he'd finish with 17 in the original round. At least he'd finish with 16 in the original round still. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. He goes in that bonus round. He hits one. He has like 20 seconds left. I'm pretty sure he could have hit 2 more easily. Especially with the roll he was on. Remember when he hit like 9 homers in like a minute, right?
Yeah.
I remember MLB posted about on Instagram and Twitter and stuff, and all the Cubs fans were like, that's because he cheated. Right? Oh no, he cheated to win a home run derby. His dad threw the ball 1 second. There's a dude standing behind the catcher telling them when to throw it. Maybe he did go a little early, but to be honest, I don't care.
I don't care that much either.
Okay, just shut up. Who cares, honestly? You know, that moment when he won it, that gave me like goosebumps. I'm not even a Nationals fan, and I got goosebumps from that, right? You know, who cares, all right? It wasn't significant enough, you know, for anyone to care, really, besides Cub fans. Whatever, okay? Get over yourself. All right, so the trade deadline is coming, and you know, Zach Britton's
probably the biggest next biggest rental piece on the market that's available.
Probably. So where do you think he's going, Noah?
I know the who was it? Were the Red Sox? I think not Red Sox. Reds, D-backs, Yankees, and hold on, I think I'm reading them wrong. Astros, Phillies, Yankees, Red Sox, and Brewers were interested, and I remember last year it came out that, or earlier it came out that the Astros offered Colin Moran, a Double-A outfielder that was likely Jason Martin, to the Orioles for Zach Britton.
Mm-hmm.
And I know they turned that down, and eventually Moran and Martin went to the Pirates in the Cold deal.
Remember, because the Orioles thought they could compete. They needed Zach. I still can't take that seriously. I don't know how they thought that. But, okay, I feel like his asking price is a lot lower now because, you know, he had to get surgery and he just Has he even pitched this year? I'm not even sure.
Yeah, he's pitched a little bit this year. He's done.
Okay. Yeah, I thought he did, but I just wanted to make sure before I said anything. You know, he's barely pitched this year, so it's kind of like you're not gonna get that much for him. Get rid of him before you lose him for nothing in free agency. All right? Okay, Orioles, figure it out.
Don't mess this up.
The Astros need him the most. Their bullpen, lefty-wise, is horrible.
Yeah, Tony Sipp's the only guy there that's a lefty.
The Astros are loaded with prospects. Astros, if you trade Miles Straw and Garrett Stubbs,
Armenteros.
Okay, if you trade any of those guys, I'm going to go on a Twitter rampage and tweet at you very angrily because our minor league team is in first place, and I'd like to win another national championship, please. So, don't do that. Okay?
It shouldn't take like any big name guys. Like it shouldn't take any like big.
Armenteros isn't a big name guy.
Okay,
That's what I'm scared about. That's why I'm scared. I don't want him to be stuck in the black hole that is the Orioles organization. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I don't.
He deserves better.
I don't think it'll take much though to pry him away from the Orioles because, like you said, he came off an injury. He's not been playing much. He's on the last year of his contract. You know, I feel like the price for him won't be that high.
Mm-hmm. Astros just called up a 21-year-old from Cuba. I believe his name is Yordan Alvarez. Okay, they called him up to AAA. Trade him away. All right. 21-year-old outfielder from Cuba. He's like 6'6" or something, right? You know, that looks like a good prospect to me. There you go. There you go, Orioles. Okay. But the team that interests me the most on here is the Brewers because I know that the Brewers were interested in getting Brian Dozier. Their farm system isn't completely loaded, right?
But I think they could get like some rental guy to help them.
I feel like they could get a few, and I feel like they need a few, right? So I feel like that'd be pretty good for them to go get a piece. Please make it exciting and Brewers make the playoffs instead of the Cubs.
I will, but you know, yeah.
Okay, nothing against Cubs fans. I have to say this, or else I'll get like 20 comments about it. You hate the Cubs. I'm unsubscribing or something, right? All right, okay. You know, Cubs, you're fine, but I like a little bit of change, and I kind of want the Brewers to make the playoffs this year.
I'm rooting for the Brewers.
Brewers are fun to watch. They're really fun to watch.
Yeah, if God doesn't grant a miracle and help the Pirates to do something, then I'm watching the Brewers for the rest of the season.
The Brewers. Yeah, so Astros, Phillies, Yankees, Red Sox, and the Brewers are the rumored teams. You know, I know the owner hates the Yankees, so Yankees would have to offer them something, you know, pretty kind of important.
Yeah,
I guess, but it's half a year of a relief pitcher. You know,
yeah, and
they aren't gonna get the #1 prospect. Okay, so Orioles, before you do something stupid, just know his value. And then trade him away before he leaves you in free agency because no one wants to be with the Orioles right now. Orioles fans barely want to be with the Orioles anymore. You should have seen how upset they were about the Machado trade. They knew it was coming, but they were just like, it was the only reason I watched the Orioles.
Aww.
Now they get to watch Chris Davis and his
50
out hits
or
whatever.
Chris Davis strikeout or ground out.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so a team that has been interesting this year has been the New York Mets, who in April.
Remember they had that amazing, like 11-1 start, and then everything just went downhill from that.
A lot of people are thinking, oh, they're gonna make the playoffs, right? Oh, they're gonna be so good, and then they just kind of boom, crash, fell off a cliff. You know, now they're like last in the division, I think, to the Marlins.
Yeah, they're below the Marlins last time I saw.
How
you were
like
that?
You were like 19-3 or something, right? I'm like how'd this happen? Okay, but they're receiving interest in Jose Bautista, who has done pretty good.
He's done okay for the Mets since game there.
Varying levels of interest in Zach Wheeler, and also interest in Jacob deGrom, which I don't think they should trade because it's Jacob deGrom, and I'm just kind of like, I don't know if that's the best way to go with it. But if you trade away Wheeler and you trade away Bautista, you could get at least a few prospects back.
You're not going to get very much for two guys that were. You're not going to get very much for Batista, but you might get something back for Wheeler.
Yeah, you could get something back for Wheeler.
Yeah, because he's controllable, young. He's done
Yeah, he's done He's done good enough, okay, to where he's not completely horrible.
I think.
All right.
Yeah, but if you ask me, I think they should trade DeGrom.
Why?
He's already 30, so that's. And 30 is like the age of baseball where you like automatically become old. It seems like he's 30. Their farm system is, it's not the worst, but they could definitely use some help. And he's controllable, and I think they can get such a good haul back for DeGrom. Though I don't know what team would be willing to put that up though.
I think that I think a problem with baseball right now really is young talent is valued like to the moon. Oh my goodness, man.
Like the Chris Sale trade. If you look at that, they traded Moncada for Chris Sale, and Moncada like plays like 10 games in the majors already.
Yeah, and then it's like, younger, like, older guys that are like good still go like kind of under the radar, I think, because everyone's like, oh, young talent, right? All the GMs, right? They like dream about young talent, right? Whenever they sleep, right? But a lot of older guys like Bautista, you can get for cheap, man. Because I'm sure the Mets can be like, oh, give us that one prospect that's like not even ranked in your system, and then you'll be like, okay, boom, you got a seasoned veteran and a guy with playoff experience. So, like that's why I really like the Braves a lot, because the Braves have like such a good mix between young players and like veterans, right? That's why like I really like the Braves a lot. The Braves are fun, and I just think that like, okay, a player hits 30, so what? I haven't seen any decline for DeGrom. If anything, I've seen he's been getting better.
Yeah.
So,
but it seems just like every time
I'm just going to go off what I've seen. I'm not going to assume that he's going to be bad. Like, I think Mike Trout will be good till he's the age of 40. And if DeGrom keeps going up, then I'm not trading him. He's ours still. Sorry, because you saw the potential that the Mets had at the start of the year.
Yeah,
they got hit with a few injuries, a few guys underperformed, boom, 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 and then all of a sudden you're in last place behind the Marlins, right?
So you think they can ever compete? Do you think they can compete with what they have now ever, or do you think they should just go rebuild?
Not full rebuild.
Not full rebuild.
No, they just need to do They need to do they need to trade away some pieces, I think.
Yeah, like who's their closer? Familia. Do you think they'll trade Familia off?
Yeah, probably. Like a few guys like that. Jay Bruce maybe.
I don't think they should trade away Syndergaard, but I think they should consider DeGrom somewhat.
I think they should trade Syndergaard and keep DeGrom, honestly.
Why? Because of just
I like DeGrom a lot better than Syndergaard. And yeah, that too. They're the Mets, so their pitchers are always going to get injured anyway, right? Somehow. The Mets hired new trainers yet? I think that was the thing this offseason where they finally hired new trainers, right?
Yeah.
So the pitchers don't get injured all the time, and then they still get injured. Woo, right? But, I like DeGrom a lot better than Syndergaard. If I had to choose one player to keep and one player to trade, I would trade Syndergaard and keep DeGrom.
I think I would trade DeGrom and keep Syndergaard.
Wow, really? Okay, I'm not prepared for that fight yet, but we probably will have to talk about that. So yeah, I think the Mets are gonna do like a little bit of a sell. Maybe trade off a few guys, but
sell.
I feel like they're gonna keep. Like if there's an offer they don't like, they probably won't take it. I feel like Jose Bautista is probably gone. Right?
Yeah, Bautista, like 1 year, he's not like controlled through beyond this season. He's definitely gone to whatever team.
Yeah, like whoever team thinks that.
Asdrubal Cabrera, he's probably gone because he's on the last of his contract, and competing team could use a middle infielder like him.
Bautista could go to the Astros. Maybe. I don't know if the Astros want to screw with their chemistry. But, I mean, Jose Bautista, I don't know. He seems like an okay guy to me, right? You mess with him on the field, that's a different man right there. You've seen what you've seen what he's done. But, right? he could be like their new version of like Carlos Beltran, right?
The veteran. Yeah, like Beltran was like their big veteran presence last year.
Mm-hmm.
Don't have
And
that much of
the Astros, I feel like they're kind of missing that. So, they have Reddick, I guess.
Yeah, Reddick, McCann, yeah.
Yeah, they have McCann, but McCann's been like injured like this whole year, so but he's gonna come back. So yeah, the Mets, they're looking interesting. But yeah, I'm thinking part sell, part keep, and keep DeGrom. Don't trade him. No, don't do it. Don't listen to Noah. Okay, and there have also been rumors on Scooter Gennett, who has been lighting it up this year for the Reds.
Yeah.
And he's not expecting to be traded.
Yeah,
he says that
he kind of wants to be. He kind of thinks he kind of been told that he wants to he's gonna probably be part of the longer picture, like the future.
Do you know how old he is?
Isn't he like 30? I think I don't know.
I don't know. I honestly have no idea. But
I'm looking up now.
If he keeps hitting like 340 when he's 30 years old, who cares?
Right? He's 28, so
he's 28. Okay,
yeah,
okay, that's not too bad. That's not too bad.
No rush right now to trade guys like that.
The Reds, they have a lot of prospect guys that are doing okay in the minors. Like Hunter Green hasn't had the best year. He's supposed to be like their big piece, right? But their major league team, ever since they fired the original manager, they've been doing pretty good.
New managers 40 and 38.
Yeah, that's over 500,
I know.
Right?
That's pretty good for what he came into.
You got Joey Votto, who's going to stay there, probably only because of his contract, to be honest.
Well, Joey Votto also said that he wants to be our Red for the rest of his life, or at least like through the rest of his career, which I should say instead.
Yeah. So, you got Joey Votto there, Scooter Gennett's really good piece. Suarez. You got our favorite, Michael Lorenzen, right? This team is actually, they're overlooked, probably because everyone's like, it's the Reds, right? And then boom, your team gets like swept by them, and then you're like, oh no, right?
If you look at it, they're not bad.
Yeah, they're not bad. So they're getting closer to that competing stage.
Yeah, I think another season, or after this season, do you think they go like full out and get a lot of starting pitching?
Maybe, because think about this. NL Central is going to be wide open in a few years. Assuming that the Cubs just don't go like sign 500 people in free agency, right, or make a bunch of trades, right?
Yeah.
Assuming the Cubs don't just kind of stay where they are, maybe add a few pieces or whatever. NL Central's kind of like wide open. We have the Brewers there. I've been doing better, but it's kind of open for everybody. So
yeah. I mean,
go ahead, Reds. Go ahead.
I mean, really, that's the only thing that's killing them right now is their starting pitching.
Yeah. So they get better. They get they could get DeGrom and they compete for a wild card.
Think about if they
man,
empty the farm system for DeGrom.
Oh man, that'd be hilarious. Oh man, that'd actually be funny. But so yeah, Reds, good for you for not completely sucking. Okay, but speaking of completely sucking, the Cardinals fired Mike Matheny, and they fired him on like Saturday night, which I'm kind of like you're not gonna let him like finish into the All-Star break, or I'm like why right now, right? Like, if you're gonna fire him in the middle of the season, do it, but why why that specific Saturday is what's curious to me. Like, I know they took like a huge L like right before he got fired, but I'm like, was the owner just like, get him out now, or I'm firing the GM too, or something? I don't know, but so yeah, it's a shame to see Mike Matheny go. He's been with the Cardinals for like a really long time, so sad to see him go, but Cardinals are probably one of the most historic teams in baseball, and that Cardinals' new manager position is looking pretty shiny to a lot of candidates.
I think a lot of people think that Mike Matheny or Joe Girardi's going to take over that role.
Yeah, one of those candidates is Joe Girardi. I know he's working on like MLB Network now, and he's a family man, but I'm like, dude, it's manager of the St. Louis Cardinals, man.
You know what the most interesting thing is I heard after he was fired? So you know their closer right now is Bud Norris, right?
Yeah.
So apparently he was feels like mercilessly riding on new rookie that Jordan Hicks. Apparently, like he was like constantly teasing him and stuff, and like Hicks apparently wasn't too happy about it. And, like Matheny didn't really do anything and said like, well, he was born in a different generation of ball players. Norris was, so what are you gonna do?
Jeez.
So I mean,
I did not hear about that.
That was like the most after he was fired. I found out about that. I was like, that's really weird to find out.
Yeah, it's like what? Like you're a bunch of grown men in a clubhouse. Like figure it out, you know. This ain't no episode of Scream Queens. All right, figure out your drama, okay? Whatever it is, and just get over it. All right. You know, if he has a problem, I don't know why he didn't just say it to him or everybody, right? But I mean, you know, Matheny's fired, so could we see Yadier Molina as a player coach?
He said that he's willing to do that after the 2019 season to become a catching manager.
That would be actually amazing.
I think that would be fun to watch.
Why after the 2019 season? Do it now, okay? I think weird things like that.
I think it's because his contract's over after. I mean, his last year is 2020, so he might just play out that last year as a manager too.
Oh man, that'd be so much fun. I hope that happens. He'd be the first one since like Pete Rose, right?
Yeah.
With the Reds. Oh man, that's exciting. I really hope that happens. Like
you think Molina would still put himself as the starting catcher if he does?
He puts himself as like the starting catcher like every day.
Yeah.
No, Molina knows. He's more of a veteran. He's a chill dude.
Molina's a very smart baseball wise player.
Yeah, he's not super. Oh, I have to start every day. Why am I not starting? Right? He's like, I'm not starting. Okay, right. I'll go.
Yeah.
Eat some seeds and watch a baseball game. Right? He's like, whatever. Right? That's fine. I don't care. So that'd be really fun. We haven't seen that in forever, and weird baseball stuff like that makes it more interesting, and it would make it a lot more fun.
Yeah, so that would be fun to watch him. Like that would be more fun to watch him manage all the calls of the game, but then like throw guys out and hit a home run in the same game.
Oh man, yeah. So hopefully Mike Matheny, he'll probably find a job somewhere, somewhat soon, I'm pretty sure, whether it's in college or major or minor league baseball, wherever it is. Sure, he'll find a job soon, so, we'll see where he goes. And then,
college, think of that, your college coach is Mike Matheny.
Oh man, that's
wild. You walk in, it's like, oh yeah, we got a new coach. Who was it? Oh, it's Mike Matheny. You may have heard of him.
He goes to like the University of like Missouri too or something. Oh man, that'd be wild. But so going into our last topic of the day, I just want to say today we are not talking about the All-Star Game because of reasons. We will talk about the All-Star Game in a future podcast. I can say that for sure. But not quite yet, because I'm working on a video that may have something to do with the All-Star Game, and I just don't want to give it all away right here. So we're going to finish up with the Angels, who released a statement on Mike Trout and practically gave their entire fan base heart attacks, because I'll read you what it says. It's a tweet, okay? The tweet says, "Today, the hashtag Angels released the following statement on outfielder Mike Trout. And a lot of people,
If you just
including
take a quick
me,
look at that,
if you're quick reading that, it looks like it says, today, the Angels released outfielder Mike Trout. I almost... I don't know what I would have done. I actually would have, like, been on the... I would have driven up to San Francisco and be like, sign Mike Trout right now. Do it, right? But I'm just like, okay, can you word this a little better? But, okay, in this statement, okay, I'm going to go ahead and read it. They said, on behalf of the Angels organization and baseball fans everywhere, congratulations to Mike Trout on another outstanding All-Star Game performance. And he's saying like 500 in the All-Star Games. That's crazy. And they also added, Mike Trout is an exceptional ambassador for the game. Combined with his talent, his solid character creates a perfect role model for young people everywhere. Each year, Mike devotes a tremendous amount of his time and effort to contributing to our organization and marketing Major League Baseball. I don't know about that one. You know, I mean, Trout's a good dude. There isn't a lot of marketing going on with anybody in Major League Baseball, but okay, whatever.
Okay.
And they also added he continually chooses to participate in the community, visiting hospitals, stuff like that, right? And then, he has a lot of humility, and I'm just gonna kind of speed to the end here. And he's good with fans and stuff, and he's a remarkable baseball player and teammate on and off the field. Blah 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 blah. Okay, so they said this statement, right? And I'm like, they haven't done this in any past year.
Yeah.
Like why? Like why would you release this to Twitter first of all, and then give all your fans heart attacks?
I need to add something that just came up. Okay, Manfred made some comments about the what you said with all the the stuff that the Angels released, like saying, "Oh, he's such a nice guy." I'm gonna read some of Manfred's comments that he said after that was released. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
This is what Manfred said. Player marketing requires one thing for sure: the player. You cannot market a player passively. You cannot market anything passively. You need people to engage with those whom you are trying to market in order to have effectively marketing. We are very interested in having our players more engaged and having higher profile players and helping our players develop their numbers, their brand, their individual brand, but that involves the player being actively engaged. Mike's a great player and a really nice person, but he's made certain decisions about what he wants to do and what he doesn't want to do, and how he wants to spend his free time and how he doesn't want to spend his free time. That's up to him. If he wants to engage and be more active in that area, we think we could help him and make his brand really, really big. But he has to make a decision that he's prepared to engage in that area. It takes time and effort. That's what Manfred said after what the Angels said about Trout.
You know what that sounds to me like? That first part that Manfred said? It sounds like Manfred watched my Baseball's Biggest Problems video and just took, like, exactly what I said, like, point by point. No, but seriously, okay, I agree with him on part of that, but at the same time, he can't do anything about it. Mike Trout's going to be Mike Trout at the end of the day. He's gonna be the greatest player of this generation. He's gonna hit bombs. He's gonna play amazing defense.
And he doesn't care if nobody knows that he's the greatest player. He doesn't
care.
Generation.
That's the thing. Get over it. Go find Bryce Harper. Where's Harper at? Go sell his bandanas that I wore at the home run derby or something. But okay, that's the thing I love about Mike Trout, and the thing I don't like about Mike Trout at the same time, because it's kind of sucks.
Yeah.
But at the same like this dude's doing charity events in hospitals while other dudes are talking million multi-dollar deals with like shoe brands.
Yeah.
He is such a good person, and he's so not like, oh, I'm Mike Trout. I'm the greatest player ever.
He doesn't. He doesn't boast about it. It's like if Harper was that good, he'd be like, I'm the greatest player who ever existed. There's no argument about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and people say, oh, Bryce Harper's better than Mike Trout. Bryce Harper said at the All-Star game yesterday, Mike Trout is the greatest player in the game right now. Okay? So, debate over, period. Okay? That debate will never exist anymore. it didn't exist in the first place, and now it really doesn't exist. Okay, I just wanted to say that because Harper fans think he's better than Trout, and I'm like, no.
Harper even admitted that he's not as good as Trout.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, Trout's gonna do what he's gonna want to do. Like, I like to see that they're showing effort, finally, you know. Praise it. We did it, everybody, you know. It sounds like, it's really weird because after I released that video, you see a lot of stuff going down. I mean, I don't think I had that much of an effect on it, but if I did, that'd be pretty amazing.
If Manfred was like, this kid is onto something.
I want like a cut. Can I get my share?
This kid's
of the profits, please.
What if you were like a big piece? It's like, and Manfred's like, this kid is onto something.
He just like watches my videos and like doesn't acknowledge me whatsoever. Like he's just like takes like every idea that, hey, I'm gonna be watching what Manfred says very carefully after Baseball's Biggest Problem Part 2 releases. I'm gonna listen to what he says very carefully. I swear. If he says, if he talks about what I say, that's gonna be sus.
I know
that's gonna be really sus.
Because I was reading all of Manfred's comments, like, a lot of this sounds familiar to something we've talked about on the podcast.
Yeah, like
so,
I was like,
we were like, yeah, maybe they should market the players more. It's like, player marketing requires one thing for sure, the player. It's like that sounds like something we talked about before.
I was like, I didn't really hear them talking about this at all. I'm sure there's guys in Major League Baseball that have said similar stuff that I have, but I didn't hear anything about publicly till I said something. So I want my cut, Manfred. Alright, well, that's going to wrap it up for this podcast. We are going to record one shortly after this, all about pace of play. Everyone's favorite thing. Woo, I'm so excited. But that's going to be a really fun episode. And if you guys did enjoy this episode and you're listening on YouTube, subscribe to the channel and like the video. If you're listening on the Pinch Runner, then go read some articles or something. I don't know. We don't have like a subscription feed. You can fill out the newsletter form and then it'll get sent out every time a new podcast release. How's that sound? That sounds pretty amazing to me. But thank you all for listening and for everyone who made it to the end. Some of you might be asleep right now while listening to this, but that's okay. I appreciate the watch time. But thanks everyone, and I will see you guys in the next podcast.